gather round, everyone. It's time to start the show. Leaf and Ash are here with stories you should know. From the rustling leaves to the embers glow, they'll take you on adventures wherever you may go.
Guys, welcome to another episode of the Leaf and Ash. I am your host, Panda, along with my compadres, -1 today. Mine is the Silverback. Today's the wifey's birthday. He's out and about celebrating. Happy birthday, Mrs. Silverback.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Silverback.
Guys,
something for him in his honor.
For me, guys, it's all about the experience.
About the experience. That's right. That's right. That's for you, big boy. Guys, as always, my compadres, you got on the bottom there, the Don himself, Mr. Cigar Don. What's going on, my brother?
What's going on? How y'all doing tonight?
Good. And today we got the 1-digit minus guy today, the 9-digit pecker today, the wizard behind the curtain, JJ, a.k.a. Cigar Mo. What's going on, dog?
Oh, just living, brother.
Just living it. Guys, as you guys can see, this episode is episode number 14, and it's another Sip and Smoke episode where we're just going to chop it up, talk about what we're smoking, and get into a couple of topics here and there, and see where it leads us. Let's start off, guys. What are you guys smoking tonight?
Episode 14, man. Imagine that. When we were putting all this together, we're at episode 14. That's cheers to us, man. Cheers to having fun.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I am smoking the Liga Privada 10-year anniversario. Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, we can't all be me, you know.
I know. I'm envious. What says you, Mo? What you smoking?
Hoyo de Monterrey Oscuro.
The Escudo, huh? Okay. Well, I am smoking for now the Knuckle Buster Maduro by Punch. And guys, let me tell you, we've all talked about it. And this was a cigar that was on my bucket list, and I'm not ashamed to say I was afraid to try it because, Punch. I don't mind Punch. You know what I mean? I think they make an okay product. I think, but this one honestly surprised the heck out of me. You know what I mean? This is the Maduro. Follow up on that, guys. Here we are in first week of September. The year's already almost done. It's absolutely mind-boggling, and it baffles me that we're already, this far into the year. You know what I mean? As of now, to this date, to September 9th, what cigar have you guys have smoking this year that, like, wow, that since day one that you smoked it, like, you're like, holy crap, I can't believe I haven't had this sooner. Let's start with you, Donnie boy.
So for me, so I went to a local shop here, probably, I don't know, right before we went to Tampa, so early July. And the tobacconist came in and said, hey, by the way, we got these new cigars in, and it's buy two, get one free. And you know me, I'm all about a free cigar. So I said, all right, I'll try a couple. I brought it home. I smoked that thing, and it blew me away. For me, it's the West Tampa Cigar Company, and in particular, the red and black. The white's good too, but the red and black, so much flavor, man. So much flavor in those cigars, and very inexpensive. Don't break the budget. That's the one for me that's been like, wow, man, where's this been?
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Mutt?
Well, for me, in my experience in Tampa, smoking a lot of cigars that I normally wouldn't be smoking on.
A lot of firsts.
I love the Liga, but the Tabernacle is what blew my mind. The Tabernacle in Toro size is a beautiful cigar, along with what Don said, the West Tampa Red, I think, is a beautiful cigar. But if I had to choose one, I'm on that boat with the West Tampa. Single-handedly the best cigar I've smoked this year.
Definitely the most surprising. And that was on my bucket list for a while. And when we all went to Tampa, we all kind of gravitated. We were like, we got to try them.
Mhm.
and boy, did it not disappoint. You know, the only one that I have not tried yet, and only because I can't find them down here, I don't know why, is the Balachi
Oh, the Bleachy Boulevard. Yeah.
Boulevard. I have one. I only bought one. Why I only bought one, I have no idea. I always normally buy sticks and twos just in case I like it. At least I know what it tastes like, and I can enjoy it later at a different date and time. But I'm there with you guys. I absolutely love the red label. I shared with you guys. Matter of fact, where the heck is it? Oh, right here. I shared that with you guys. If you guys don't know what the label looks like, that's what it looks like.
That's it.
It's a phenomenal stick. I know guys make fun of me when I use the word phenomenal, but it is a phenomenal cigar. A great smoke. I promise you, you guys will not be disappointed with it.
No.
You know, for me, there was a few cigars because I have shared with you guys. I had stopped smoking CAOs, a while ago, and the one that kind of really got me back into the CAOs, to be honest with you guys, is the Brazilias. The Brasilia really, really took me back. When I used to smoke the CAOs, and I'm like, man, and this is the Mata Fina, that I absolutely seem to really, really love, and I seem to gravitate to. It's just the Brazilian tobacco as well. And so I'm trying to remember because AJ Fernandez has that Dia de Gloria Brazil, and it's not Mata Fina, and I'm drawing a blank of what Brazilian tobacco it is, but that's another stick. But this Knuckle Buster, guys, it's an inexpensive cigar. It's $5-6. This is the Maduro. I haven't tried the Habano. Don has had the Habano. It's not he didn't. I wouldn't say he didn't like it. It didn't agree with his taste buds. I would assume, right?
Right.
And it's all preference. Like we've always said, everyone's palate is different. I have yet to try the Habano. He's yet to try the Maduro. I'm bringing him a Maduro, and he's going to be giving me a Habana. So we're going to try it out. But another stick while we were in Tampa that we got introduced to that blew my mind is by a company called Crown Heads.
Ooh. To quote you, that's a phenomenal cigar right there.
Dude, Mil Diaz.
Yes.
This cigar, I mean, mind you, and I didn't realize how many Crown Head cigars I bought that day. I bought a handful of cigars.
Mhm.
And I was out when we went Cigar International. I was about to buy a box, but I almost had my arm chopped off by the guy in front of me. I'm not mentioning no names, but next thing you know, I'm like 3 hours down the road because I got pushed and knocked down. I come back, the box is gone. He's in the lounge smoking a stick. I don't know who that might have been.
I can't confirm nor deny that I got a box of blood medicine that day.
Yeah. I cannot confirm or deny it was done.
Yep.
Well, I've never seen that big boy move so fast. I mean, it was
3940 speed.
I'm telling you exactly.
Put the clock on me right then.
I'm telling you,
That's right.
combine record.
Grease lightning, baby. Grease lightning. I mean, and like I said, to this year, to me, this year, I can honestly say, guys, I probably experimented with a lot of new ones, or not necessarily new ones, but revisiting cigars. Even the Rocky Patel. I've shared my story with Rocky Patel. That 60th, that's a very good stick. If you guys have not tried it, I think you guys would really enjoy that cigar. Like I said, the list goes on and on and on with all the things that we've tried out this year. The Arganices, right?
Yeah.
The Arganices, great stick. That's another bundle, inexpensive cigar. You could get them at certain websites and stuff like that. But if you could go to your local lounge, obviously we're all big supporters of your brick and mortars. First and foremost, support your mom and pop stores, guys. It's very important that we keep them in business. And if there's something on the shelf that they don't have that you like, just throw it as a recommendation to the shop owner. Maybe it might surprise you. And if enough people honestly talk about it, I guarantee you most likely they'll consider it, even if they buy a few boxes just to take a chance at a gamble on it.
Yeah,
You
it's like that liquor store I have in town. He tells me every time I'm in there when I buy sticks from him. He says, "Tell me what you want, and I'll get it ordered."
Yeah. You
So,
know,
well, if you're willing to do that for me, I'll be willing to come in here and buy it if it's here. And I don't want to say, "Hey," and I think that's what shops run into a lot too. People say, "Hey, I want this," and then they buy one stick a month, and they're like, But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
in there, and if you can get it in, I'll buy it.
yeah. Listen, I know I've recommended a few cigars to my lounge.
Mhm.
You know, the Lunatic was one of them by Arganosa. You know, the rep came and I sampled it, and and as you guys know, Don more than the rest. You know, the shop owners, the way I go to and burn one, they really respect my opinion on cigars.
Sure.
And when the Lunatic came out, it was a great sell for them. It's just like everything else. In the very beginning, they're gonna be flying off the shelves. Everybody wants to try them, and then they slow down, but they still got them in their rotation. Another cigar that I recommended for them to get, and which was recommended to me by a coworker, was the Tabernacle.
Oh,
By Foundation. You know, and it wasn't until we had the trip and from all the guys from the shop that we went to Tampa, and I'm like, hey, you guys got to try this steak. And one of the shop owners was there with us, and he was on board. And when he got back, they cleared an entire shelf, a good chunk of a shelf, because well, Foundation is one of those companies you got to buy, I think, a minimum of 5 faces. And luckily enough, the shop does well enough that they could take that chance. They could take that
Right.
gamble. So I mean, there's a few cigars, like I said, the Plasencias. It's another recommendation. They got them as well. And I know that they're excuse me, they're working with Fuente to get their opuses in there. And we'll see where that leads us to. You know what I mean?
I need to get my hands on an Opus. But this cigar right here, I think you'll actually like this one, Panda.
Yeah.
It's Matachina wrapper, Sumatra binder, and then the Tri-Country blend for the filler.
Okay. Hey, that sounds right up my alley.
Dude, a 10 box. I bought it on CI, $50.
Yeah. See, and we had spoke, and we keep on talking about it, and I'm gonna keep on talking about it until I'm blue in the face, guys. We got to start supporting the little guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all for it. I'm all about introducing, even though Punch is not really a small industry, a company rather, but there's cigars like this that people that are on a budget that can't afford the $10, $12, $14, $15 cigars. You know what I mean? These are good, inexpensive cigars that got good quality tobacco, good flavor, good notes, good burn to them. And I've tried 3 sizes already. I've tried the Churchill. This is the Robusto, and I've had the Toro, and all of them are burnt evenly. Well constructed, and I haven't had any problems with it at all. So I mean, to me, this is something that I will recommend. And it's crazy because, we had spoke about on the last episode like other inexpensive cigars, and I brought up like the Nicarusta Adobe.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you this. I mean, this is a little bit on the. I think this is like maybe $2 cheaper or $1 cheaper than the Adobe. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. This gives it a good run for its money. It really does. So if you're looking for a good budget cigar, and you want to buy a nice bundle for $5-6, the Knuckle Buster is one that I would recommend.
Yeah. Well,
I'll tell you, I got a couple of runner-ups for me. So the couple of runner-ups that I've had this year that I didn't know anything about, and I tried them. One is the Rojas Unfinished Business.
Okay, I've had.
That's a great cigar. Matter of fact, I smoked one 2 nights ago. Just every time I smoke that thing, I'm like, man, why aren't I smoking more of these? This is so good. And the other one is a cigar that PC sent me, and I know he likes it a lot, and that's the Ramon Busso cigar.
Which one is it?
I don't know the name of it. Is it Ramon Busso?
Yeah.
Something like that.
It's a blue and white label. I think it's an Oscuro.
Yeah,
It's a dark-
PC smokes it all the time. He loves it, and he sent me one. And you know, I said, I'll give it a shot. You know what the hell? And I smoked it. I was like, man, this is a good cigar. Holy crap! You know. So
Mhm. You know, and I think about it a lot too. Is when we were sitting at Cigar Castle, and it could have just been, you know, the everybody being together, you know, made that cigar taste a little bit better. But that Black Label, the Last Rites,
I had
That
that one
was-
yesterday. Yep.
a beautiful cigar. It had everything I wanted to, and there's just something about Cigar Castle. Their cigars just seem to be well aged. And I loved it. It was great.
Yeah, for those who don't know what he's talking about, Cigar Cash is basically a brick and mortar, and it's like a home lounge in Tampa. You know that the guys and myself from my shop, we go every year to Tampa. It's normally about 15 to 20 of us, sometimes even 30 of us. We all go to Tampa, and Cigar Castle is this lounge that we always end the night in. Right, it's a perfect lounge to end your night. You know, you go, you know, shop to shop to shop, and it's a good way to just. And what's good, it's a full liquor bar. You know, they have full liquor, and their selection it'll blow your mind.
Oh yeah.
And from the outside, it doesn't look like anything, right? When it's so deceiving, guys. I recommend go to, you know, their website, cigarcastle.com, and I promise you, you'll be like, holy crap! I believe they have 52 beers on tap. You know, every liquor you could imagine from A to Z, and pretty much every cigar that you could. I mean, to me, in all of Tampa, the price wise for the opuses, I think they got the best prices for opuses.
Well, that and you know the young ladies that were working in there were very attentive. You know, you didn't wait more than 30 seconds, walk up to the bar, and somebody was there. What you need, and you know. The lady up front was super with us, so it was a really good time.
Yeah, I mean it's a great place. I mean, we had a great time in Tampa.
Oh.
You know, like I said, there's a couple of new ones for me. You know, Coronas, like we said in our last video when the update on the trip, that one completely surprised me, guys. Obviously, because when we've gone years past, it looked nothing like what we got to experience.
You talking about King Corona?
King Corona, correct? King Corona
was awesome.
Yeah. You know, well, so to follow up on that, what cigars on your bucket list that you haven't tried that you want to try?
And I definitely any type of opus for sure. But Davidoff. A
Okay.
Davidoff. The Bouge Dawn Davidoff. And I would say anything from across the pond, a real Cuban, just to say I did it.
Okay.
But definitely it would have to be those three is something I'd like to try.
What says you, Don?
I'm having trouble thinking of one. I've tried most of the ones that I wanted to try. I'm trying to think if there's anything that like I'm more into like my bucket list cigars are these smaller ones that I've never heard of. So I've had an Opus X, I've had the Padron 80th, I've had the Davidoffs, I've had all those, and I think for me like the one I'm looking forward to the most right now, to be honest with you, is that Dias de la Gloria, that you were talking about, that because I like the Brazilian tobacco, I like the Brasilia, all those kind of things. So yeah, I don't know that there's a bucket list that I haven't had that I just have to go get. I'll say my bucket list cigar is the next newest one out that's going to be cool.
So for me, we were on I don't know, were we on StreamYard with Jack? Is it Jack?
Jake. Yeah.
Jake. I apologize, yeah. Jake.
Yeah.
He showed the new Freaky from Family by Loyalty. That is a cigar that I ain't gonna lie to. Since he showed it, it's box press. That one has piqued my interest. Another company is, and I got to speak to him when I was on the Cigar Dudes podcast. That they were kind enough to invite me. They had a young man, a veteran, by the name of Bryce, He's come out with his own cigar called Silent Heroes, and we're working on. I got to reach out to him. He wants to come on our podcast, so we're gonna set that up. Like I said, he's a young man. He's 26 years old. I believe he was in the Army. 10% of the proceeds are going to wounded soldiers, I believe it was, or for PTSD. We'll get more particulars when we get them on. But everyone keeps on raving about his Candela. So, yeah. I know. I said the same thing, guys.
I'll do it. I'll do it just to say I did, but
each and every one of those guys I've said that when they smoked it, none of that grassiness, bitterness comes through. So I told Bryce that, you know what, just to show support, I'm gonna make sure that I get at least one of each stick. If they have a bundle, I'm gonna grab a bundle. And like I said, I definitely want to support him. So it's some Silent Heroes cigars, guys. Listen, we don't get any money for advertising these guys. It's just, this is what we want to do. You know what I mean? And
that's a special cause too. That's
Absolutely.
a special cause that even if I'll be honest with you, and I got one vote in this thing, but even if they offered us money to do that, I would rather that money go to their cause.
Absolutely.
So.
Yeah, it's witnessing that stuff firsthand. It's something that really needs to be looked at, and they need to find more effective ways helping these young men when they come home. And I'll always be the bat for that cause.
Yeah, and then for those of you that don't know, our boy Mutt here is also a vet, from the U.S. Army. So I mean, obviously that's near and dear to his heart.
Yep.
A bunch of family. My dad was in Vietnam. My grandfather was in World War II. God had other plans for me, and obviously I joined the Boys in Blue. That kind of rhymed, huh?
Hey,
Kind of rhymed unintentionally.
it's still very honorable. It's a hard job.
Yeah. Hopefully, from my lips to God's ears, I get to finish this journey that He's put me on, and be able to enjoy the fruits of my labor, and go on to other adventures with you guys, other plans that we have. With that being said, leads to my other question. What event or events in the near future or in the future that you guys want to go to? That's on your guys' bucket list, because I have mine.
I have 3 on mine right now.
Go for it.
And the most obvious one, I want to go to that, but the 3 that I want to go to right now is the Great Smoke down there by you guys. I want to go to the Rocky Mountain Cigar Festival.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've watched our previous podcast, we had Mr. Garofalo on our thing. I so bad want to go to his cigar dinner next year. And for those of you who don't know, he gave us a great shout out on his podcast. Love that. And he had some ideas of what we might do at his event, and I would love to do that. That might be number 1 on my list.
Yeah, I hate it. And what's his podcast?
Oh, the Cigar Authority.
There you go. Can't mention it without giving a shout out.
Right. You're right.
Yeah. And once again, Mr. Garofalo, we from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your knowledge with us, and especially giving us a shout out. We know you didn't have to do it, but we greatly appreciate it.
You did. And I love the words he used when he used it quite a bit. Is this is a passion project? Because I mean, this is what it is. This isn't a hobby anymore. It's a passion. It's a lifestyle, and it's the most fun I've had in a very, very, very long time. But to the question, for one, the next event we plan is the one I want to go to for sure. I'd like to go to PCA one year just to say I did it. And they have that Kansas City, that big old bash up in Kansas City. I'd like to see what that's about, because it's pretty big up there.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see what that's about.
And to be honest, I don't know, other than the big ones that get advertised on social media and cigar circles, that kind of, I don't know. Like, I know Houston has a cigar week. I don't know. That's so sad. I don't know anything about it. I I need to do some more research on that. They got 25 events or something that they do, you know. But yeah, I think. But I echo you, Jed. The next one that we all do together, because that was the highlight of my year, hanging out with you guys and just, you know, going lounge to lounge and cutting up and doing what we do and just being stupid and being funny and having a good time and drinking old fashions and cooking steaks and
changed my life. I mean, look over my head now. I mean, it changed my life. You know, the bourbon and the, you know, stuff like that. I've always paired them up before, but I've never had the perfect pairing. And then I found it there, and it was that old fashioned. But I don't think an Oklahoma old fashioned can ever quite taste like that Tampa old fashioned I had that night.
They always say the best drink you have is the drink you had with friends. So
exactly,
absolutely.
I mean, they're still good, but they ain't as good as they was that weekend.
Oh yeah. So you guys have pretty much hit all the ones that were on my list. The Kansas City, I've heard about that one. You know, that one's pretty big. But the one that has intrigued me more recently is that Rocky Mountain one.
Yeah.
That one, just seeing all the videos, Cigar Dads, you know, he's a man of blue. And he sent me, you know, his videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? Because that one looks huge because it's outside and stuff. I would absolutely love to go to that one. That one looks fun.
You know, and a lot of people that we've talked to have said, "Oh, I can't do it this week because I'm going to be at Rocky Mountain. I'm going to be at Rocky Mountain." So a lot of people are going to that.
Yeah. You know, and then most recently, Dave Garofalo's event. That's going to be. He says, and we got to make sure that we're on top of it because I believe he says he posted in May.
Mm-hmm.
And events in September. I would assume tickets fly off the shelf.
Oh yeah.
You know, if they have a VIP package, I would love to get the VIP package. They don't?
I don't know. No, I'm saying yes.
Oh
yeah.
You know, whichever one of us, you know, if one of us is online and it just so happens, I highly say purchase all of them for 4 of us, and we will sell whoever gets the tickets first.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There's definitely some things that I would love to do for Mr. Garofalo, you know, on our behalf, you know, but we'll talk about that off screen. And then the last one is exactly what you guys said, our next adventure, you know, whether it's going to Texas or going to Georgia, going visiting the Okie from the Pokey, Oklahoma, you know.
Go visit El Guapos.
El Guapos, that's right. We'll tear it up.
I'm telling
El Guapos ain't gonna be ready.
Sorry, Alex. We're gonna tear that roof off, baby.
That's right. And you know, and like I said, our trips, you know, across, you know, to go to Nicaragua, go to DR, go to Honduras, you know, those are all on our bucket list as a group. You know, to me, honestly, guys, you know, that's a trip that's always been on my bucket list as long as I've been in this industry. And just like you said before, and you guys heard it before, it's no longer a hobby; it's a lifestyle.
Absolutely.
You know? And that's exactly like I said. My kids have never seen me without a cigar in my mouth. They don't have a picture without with me without a cigar with me. You know, it's crazy. But you know, to me, guys, I think that this journey that we have gone to to this point has been phenomenal. You know, I wouldn't want to be doing it with anybody else. You know, and I really sincerely mean that, you know, and PC, you know, I know you out there listening or you'll be listening, you know, much love to you and the missus. But yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to, you know, the Rocky Mountain stuff because that, for whatever reason, that event has caught everyone's attention.
It has.
Everyone's attention. So to me, I think, you know, apparently every year it gets bigger and bigger. So those are tickets that you really got to be on top of.
Oh yeah,
and find out, you know, because listen, I don't mind spending the extra money for the VIP to see because you know I've been to the Great Smoke multiple times, you know, and I always get the VIP tickets. You know, the plus side of that, honestly, to me, out of everything, the Great Smoke is that you get to go in an hour earlier than the general public. general admissions, you know. And you'd be surprised. You know, before you used to be able to go, they'll give you tickets. You'll be able to go to each booth, give them a ticket, they give you a stick. You get to chop it up really briefly. This year, they did it a little differently. Everyone already had all their pouches together. They had all the cigars already put together, and you were able to have a little bit more of a one-on-one conversation and buy boxes from these people at that point
Oh,
at a
awesome.
discounted rate. You know,
Yeah.
like Black Label. That's where me and John got to meet and see Cammy. You know, and Cammy from was it Stick Society?
Yep.
You know, and John was able to find a quick why because that unicorn that she always wears. You know,
Yeah.
and shout out to Cammy.
Yeah, she's
And
awesome.
so yeah, I mean, like I said, all of these events are good, you know, but that's definitely my bucket. The PCA, you know, it's in New Orleans, you know, that's another one. You know, it's funny because they moved it from Vegas, you know, so it's gonna be interesting what's gonna happen this year,
Mhm.
you know. But New Orleans, I guess it would be, you know, that's something a little different, you know what I mean? You know, so who knows? Maybe we'll make it.
Hey, never know.
So,
Little Cajun food, some good
little
drink.
jambalaya, some jambalaya, spicy jambalaya. See, I've never had crawfish. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I've never had crawfish. I get it, man. You know, I'm interested in trying how to tear them apart, eat them. You know, and because I like spicy food. You know what I mean? I love spice.
Oh
you know?
yeah.
And it's just the way it is. But also want to give a good shout out to our sponsor. You know, when you get that moment, roll that beautiful bean footage, baby.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, guys? This is your boy Panda, and your boy Panda has some great news. We have teamed up with Burn One Cigar Bar, located at 7328 Royal Palm Boulevard in Margate, Florida. Guys, Burn One Cigar Bar is your go-to destination for the finest selections of premium cigars at unbeatable prices. Step into a world of luxury and relaxation as you indulge in the smooth flavors and exquisite aromas of our carefully curated cigars collection. But that's not all. Burn One Cigar Bar has teamed up with us for an exclusive sponsorship opportunity just for you. When you call Burn One and purchase any box of cigars, you unlock a fantastic discount of 20% of your order using special discount code PANDA. You can contact Burn One at 954-970-0001 or on their social media pages, Facebook and or Instagram. Guys, don't miss this chance to elevate your cigar experience without breaking the bank. Visit Burn One Cigar Bar today, mention discount code PANDA, and treat yourself to premium cigars at incredible value. Hurry up, this offer won't last. Burn One Cigar Bar, where luxury meets affordability. And they ship nationwide. Nice.
Sweet. Shout out to those guys, man.
Absolutely.
You know, from when we talked to Mr. Aganorsa, I'm blanking here.
Terrence
Terrence
Riley.
Riley. You know, he told us about his economical brand called New Cuba. And they're Nicaraguan puros. You all know I love my yard gars. I'm the mutt. I love these things. They're a lot better than I ever anticipated. I bought 225 bundles. And but to me,
nothing in moderation. Nothing in moderation.
Heck no. It's
Jump
so
in both feet. Let's go.
Both feet. And you know, to me, it's they're a little more than what I think that they hit a little above what a yard guard would be. You know,
Okay.
it's if it's coming from Aganorsa, it's a good product. And even though it's at an economical price, they didn't take anything away from that stick.
Yeah, shout out to those guys too. They had that fire down there at their factory, and
praise to them.
and-
Yeah, absolutely.
everybody was safe, and they lost some tobacco. But as we found out from Mr. Garofalo and from Terrence himself, that they're the biggest producer of tobacco in the industry. So Terrence on his social media has assured everybody they have plenty and they're ready to roll.
Yep. You know, because that tobacco, it regrows. So thankfully, everybody was okay.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
mean,
Listen, I went out and bought that Arsenio. You know, I end up buying a second one. I haven't smoked it yet, but I plan to smoke it. I'm gonna probably bring it with me um, in my near future trip. You know, and absolutely gonna be on what you call it, enjoying that bad boy and sharing it with the Aganosa Acolytes. You know,
Yeah.
you
I
know,
love the history behind that stick.
oh, absolutely. I love the history of all of them, man. Because right, because and think about it, they all have a starting point, right? Some type of the history of how they came about it, the history of the cities, the towns. It's just like when we spoke about on what the foundation. You know, each and every one of them, every name, every symbol, everything, even that symbol that you have on your hat right now, JJ, represents something in regards to Nicaragua. You
Yep.
know, which is great.
And think about every cigar that you smoke. Every single one starts with somebody going, what if we put this and this together?
Yeah.
What if, you know? And that's what we talk about the little guy, the Boutique guys. Those guys are the mad scientists that they have less trepidation about trying something new because what do they got to lose? They ain't got nothing to lose. You know, they don't have
Right.
they're not selling 30 million sticks a year. They're trying something new, and if it hits, man. Let's roll.
It's a crapshoot, right? Think about it. I mean, and the things that I think we've seen in the last few years, we've seen more boutique companies come out that have phenomenal, is my word, you know, product, but unfortunately, they don't get the acknowledgement or the recognition that they deserve,
Yeah.
and they go under. You know, and there's how many cigar companies are out or were out there that we didn't even get to try because they didn't get that push.
Right. You know, and all their money is wrapped into the research and development. They don't have the money to, buy extravagant ads. You know, they don't have anybody pushing their sticks. And, it's sad to see somebody like that who puts so much hard work and dedication just get steamrolled by the big corporate guys out there. And
Because
it's sad. They don't
really
get a
is a
chance.
passion project for those guys.
Yeah.
It really is a passion project,
And there's the money, right? Is the money because they allocate X amount of dollars, right? Because think about it, how much you gotta kind of have the mindset of going in. Okay, how much money are you willing to put into something that if you lose it, you're okay with?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's my mentality. Okay, I believe in it. I'm gonna bust my tail to make everything possible to make it work and become prosperous. But how much money am I able to lose that if it doesn't make that myself and my family are gonna suffer over it?
Absolutely.
Well, I think you got to think about too the whole how much of yourself are you willing to put in? Are you willing to be on the road 200 days that year to sell your cigar? Are you willing to meet with people that you don't that you don't know and have them try your stick? Or what's that saying that nobody knows how long it took to be an overnight success?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's so true, man. And it's like I said, it's sad because we know people, right, that have phenomenal products, and unfortunately they had to go under or shut down because of whatever,
Oh yeah.
And to me, it's sad because I was a true believer of this person's product. I think they had a phenomenal product. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
I won't mention any names on it, but it's one of those unfortunate circumstances that like I said, at what point do you have it? Okay, you got to stop the bleeding. You got to stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
And especially when you're doing it on your own. When you're doing it on your own, it's harder because everything falls on you. And how much time and effort are you willing to promote your stuff? Like you said, are you willing to go 275 days, 300 days at a 352? Right? I mean, tell me about it. Like, not everyone's willing to do the work.
No.
But also remember, you got to have enough product to be able to go to all these locations.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, what are you gonna do if somebody says, "Hey, yeah, send me 10 boxes"?
Right.
You better have 10 boxes to send.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. So what happens? You go to listen, boutique companies, right? There's certain states that flourish in them. You know, Texas is one of them. The Midwest, the Midwest are big because not everybody in those areas, particularly, are going to spend $12, $15 on a cigar. They're not looking for that cigar price point. You know, so that's where these boutique cigars come in play. You know, and we had a little insight in regards to somewhat the production and the cost, in regards to a conversation that Don and I were privy to, and this individual put things in perspective. He really did, and a lot of things that a lot of people don't consider because everybody wants to go out with a bang, but you got to crawl before you walk, and you got to walk before you run, and everybody's such in a rush to make their own cigars, and everyone wants to be first. They want to be first. They feel like they're in competition with everyone. And in one sense, you are, but what's gonna make your product better than the next? What's gonna make you stick out?
Right.
So that like I said, I've been taking a lot of notes, doing a lot of research. You know what I mean? Because you know what, if the day ever comes that we decide to do something, we have a good solid foundation.
Well, right, because I think it's cool too. It's like the Encore Black or not? Yeah, the Encore Black. It shouldn't have worked,
Right.
but it did. So that's what I'm interested in. Is just
But explain that though, JJ. Explain that for those who don't understand what you mean by that. Explain that.
So it was the San Andreas and the other one was the
Connecticut Broadleaf.
They shouldn't work together. They should cancel each other out. I mean, they don't burn well together, but they found a way to make it happen.
Right.
And me, if I ever get a chance to roll me up one of these things, that's the type of stick I want to try to make. Is something that's not supposed to work, that you light that thing up and you're like, what the hell am I smoking right now?
Yeah.
And it just something clicks. And I think that's what intrigues me the most about the cigar rolling is, there's thousands of different types and different hybrids, and you just never know. Like that Candela, that man may found a way to perfect it, and it may be a beautiful cigar.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I got to reach out to him, and that's on my bucket list, along with a couple other people. But yeah, I mean, you said it right, hybrid. You know what I mean? That's you're absolutely right, because you have to be that one to take that chance, but not too much of a gamble that you only like that cigar.
Absolutely.
Because, right? You got to love your product. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, if we produce 10,000 cigars and nobody likes it, we're stuck with 10,000 cigars. And, some people's mentality is, well, I got 10,000 cigars that I like that I can smoke. Well, you didn't produce them for you.
No.
You produced them for the general public to enjoy. So to me, before I would even launch, a product, I'm going to go to people that I trust and send it to people that I know that got good refined palates and go, I want your honest opinion.
Yeah.
What's missing? Would you change anything? Would you add anything? Would you subtract anything? Is it too strong? Is it too light? Is it too peppery? Is it too, tell me what you think. And you write down notes, because guess what? You got to take that criticism.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
You have to take that criticism. And you know what? If you don't have thick skin, this is not the business for you.
And I got a perfect example of that blind smoke that we did a couple episodes ago. That gentleman, he told me he wanted to see our video whether we liked it or not. And the only thing he asked is that if we don't like it, tell him why. Because he's new in the business, and he he's looking to please the masses and all that good stuff. So if you don't like it, tell me why. Tell me what you don't like about it.
I thought it was a fantastic cigar.
Absolutely.
No, it was, but I appreciated that candor. Like even if you guys don't like it, I want to see the video.
Of course. And you know what? You need to have that mentality.
Yeah.
You have to. And I've said it. If you make a one blend, right, and you give it to 5 of us, and I've said this before, and 3 don't like it and 2 like it, that cigar is a failure.
It's a loser. Yeah.
Why would you? And if you go to another location and the same outcome, because you love those three cigars, you're getting butthurt over it, and but you're in it to find out what the consumer wants, because that's who you're selling it to.
Yeah.
To me, it's like, hey JJ, what did you like about it? And guess what? I'm gonna be there with the pen and pad. Okay, hey Don, what didn't you like about it? Well, the same thing that JJ, but I think you're missing XYZ.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Go back to the lab.
And every once in a while, it could be that it could be a one-off. The buncher, that leaf should have hit here, but it's sitting right here, so the whole profile's off. I mean, as you look and watch these amazing individuals roll these cigars, you don't realize that the leaf placement is everything as far as consistency. You got to get that same bunch in that same spot every time, or the cigar's not the same.
Right.
It's just not.
Right. The way they grab it and they bunch it up. See,
Yeah.
and that's a lot of people don't understand it, because you have these master blenders, they have all this tobacco around them. Okay. Now, mind they themselves got to remember. So this is my peppery tobacco. This is gonna be my spice tobacco. And they have to there's a system.
Mhm.
There is a system how these guys actually blend and roll their cigars, and that's such a good, valid point that you made. And there is a difference between a long filler and short filler, right?
Yeah.
Big difference.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is that you could throw those short fillers in there to kind of mix things up a little bit, but are you putting the right short filler in there?
Right, because
Is it going to contradict what you started with, and then in the middle it tastes like crap, right?
it's like a factory smoke. They sell millions of them a year, but not a single bundle is ever going to taste really the same. They're still going to taste fine, but there's hundreds of different types of cigars in the leaf in that cigar.
They just grabbing whatever pretty
Yeah.
much. Even though they're made by Drew Estate, and that tobacco is good tobacco. But the problem is, like, to me, most of the factory smokes that I've had, because I've tried them,
Yeah.
it's an okay cigar. You know what I mean? For the budget price, if someone's on a budget and they want to smoke multiple cigars, a bundle of 20 or 25, I can't remember what they come in, they're like $52. You know what I mean? So you're looking at $2 to I've seen them between $2.50 and $3.50 a stick. So think about it. And in my shop, dude, between those, the Frescas,
Yeah.
they can't keep them on the shelf. Those bundle cigars are unbelievable, inexpensive, great price point, and people buy it 1 bundle, 2 bundles, 3 bundles at a time.
Absolutely.
You know what? Dave said something when we were talking to him, and I can't remember if it was on the show or if it was afterwards when we were talking to him, that somebody's going to come into your shop and they're going to smoke a Padron 80th, or they're going to smoke a Liga Privada, or they're going to smoke a whatever. But when they go home with their cigars, they're going to most of the time be smoking something that, whatever your budget is, you're going to be smoking that cigar as your everyday cigar, So yeah, you might sell 1 or 2 of the high end stuff, but you're going to sell the bundles and the boxes of the budget stuff that. And so if you can make a budget stick that is, to use your word, that's phenomenal, man, I think you got a gold mine there, just
right. Right,
he talks about
celebratory.
Very few men walk into that shop and buy a box of Padron. They're out there, but for every box of Padron, there's been probably 100 bundles of Drew Estate that just got sold to factory smokes.
That triangle that he's talking about, guys,
Yep.
is this. And he made a valid point.
Mhm.
So the celebratory cigars are like your Padron or any Padron, the opuses, they're right up here on that small portion, right here on the tip.
Yep.
All this is where your budget cigars are at, right here.
Yep.
This is your moneymaker. And when he said it that way, did it not just like bing? Did it not make sense?
Oh, it just it was that. What was the 80% of the cigars sold are bundle brands that
Yep.
whatever the maker you like, if it was a Plasencia, Padron, Factory Smokes, whatever the brand you like, the Frescas, that 80% of the cigars sold are bundled type sticks, and that was eye opening to me. Going, wow, man, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I can tell you, my shop, they constantly get orders, delivered to them of the bundles, constantly. Dude, so there's days that they can't keep them on the shelf fast enough. They can't keep stock, So it's got to the point that they have to over order,
Yeah.
and those are cigars that people are always gonna buy, because like I said, if you're in a budget, listen, and we've had that conversation as well. Between my brain starts, the sirens start bleeping on me once I hit the $12 mark.
Yeah.
And everything higher than that, I'm like, it better, be worth every dollar. You know what I mean? Because we've had them, right? We've had those expensive cigars that are absolutely trash.
All right, and let's be honest, we're all on a budget
Yeah.
of some sort. My budget may be different than JJ's and yours, Panda, but we're all on a budget. So,
Absolutely.
you guys give me a hard time all the time about being bougie and all that stuff and smoking, and I do enjoy the Liga Privadas and the Davidoff Nicaraguas and the open. I do enjoy those, but my everyday stick is not that. I mean, it can't.
Oh,
be.
absolutely.
You
have to treat yourself from time to time.
Absolutely.
I mean, you have to, and it's and it's all subjective, but you think it's kind of like anything else. At some point, there's a point of diminishing returns.
Right.
It's
right.
like that $100 cigar might be $100, but it might smoke like a $3 cigar. You never know, or it could blow your mind. But to me, at some point, for me, probably within $20 to $25, I probably ain't gonna buy it.
Yeah.
But you got to treat yourself from time to time, though.
Well, Don, you've had recently, not too long ago, you spent $40 on two separate sticks, not to mention any names, and they're very well known, top tier cigar companies, and they weren't worth it, And I agree with you. I haven't had the other one, but the one I've had multiple times, and honestly, like, I agree with you. It's not worth the $40, especially on that line, in that particular line.
Yeah, if I'm spending $40, I wanted to sit me back in my seat and go, why haven't you been smoking this? What's wrong with you? But both of those sticks, and like I said, we won't mention any names. One was a I don't know if the upgrade is the right word, but it's an upgrade of one of the cigars that we really like. And so I said, that one's got to. If they take from $13 or $18, whatever it is, to $40, that must be like the bond.
Creme de la creme.
And it just wasn't, And I like the $15 cigar as much as I did the 40 or more, actually more. And just, I don't know if it was like my brain going, okay, this $40 cigar is not as good as, it might have been as good, but it wasn't better. It wasn't that kind of deal. So, for me.
And a lot of the times with them ultra premium, priced, a lot of it's the guy in the lounge. He's just doing this. He might take a puff every 5 minutes. He just wants to show everybody that he just bought that cigar, and it could taste like a dog turd.
Listen, I tell you, there's certain cigars that I've mentioned that to me they're nothing but status cigars, just like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Is that individual that he's got deep pockets, he got that fancy watch on, rolling up in that big old expense car, and he wants to smoke that ultra expensive cigar just to say. And I can't even tell you how many times I've seen in the ashtray, maybe not even 2/3 of it smoked.
Yeah,
and it's just, I've yet to have, a cigar. Well, I do have one cigar in my humidor, that was gifted to me. That was $100, but and everyone that smoked it, they rave about it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna find time to smoke that one. It's gonna be my first cigar, and I might have to eat a steak before I smoke that bad boy.
That palate nice and primed.
Yeah, exactly. Pour myself a nice glass of bourbon, and just do an honest review on it. Because everyone's itching to find out what I think of it. But I mean, we'll see. But yeah, guys, it's just, I don't know. To me, going back to what Don said not too long ago, when I see a price point, right? To me, I'm going, okay, Is it, especially if it's a cigar that I've never had. And I've shared this. Like, I'd rather smoke a Robusto on a new cigar, only for the mere fact that if I don't like it, at least I could smoke half of it and I'll be okay with it.
Yeah.
As opposed to going to a Toro, Churchill, Gordo, or whatever. To me, I just don't. I don't know. I have issues with spending X amount of dollars on a cigar that I don't know about. Two, not a lot of people have spoken to me about. Right, and am I willing to spend that money? Because I've shared with you guys my celebratory stick every year for my birthday. I shared it with you guys.
It's a beautiful stick.
The Padron 80th anniversary is $36. I'm not smoking $36 sticks every day.
No,
Can't.
And it's hard for me to want to spend over a certain amount, especially when you're $7 to $11 right now. You got some banging cigars in that price range.
Yeah.
It's like I can buy 3 of them, or I could just buy one. I'd rather buy 3 of those.
Yeah.
It's like Dave was talking about that McAuliffe Black. It's a $7.50 cigar and was cigar of the year of last year.
Yeah.
It's a $7 stick. This one cigar of the year. So in the mid-tier price range, they're kicking ass right now.
See, and think about it. If you could get, and obviously the key is, right, even though McAuliffe, and we all know he's definitely not doing it for the money.
No.
The man's a billionaire, for those who don't know. The guy, he does it for a passion. And you know what? I'm glad that he's taking advice, you know what I'm saying? And reach out to the consumer that they're going to be able to enjoy a good quality cigar at an inexpensive price point. But the problem is the biggest issue that you have this is also one of my biggest issues with these mom and pop stores, right? They won't give these boutique cigar companies a chance.
Yeah.
Because you got to understand, it's going to take up shelf space, right? They have to pay the money for it in hopes that their customers are going to enjoy that cigar.
Yeah.
But David made a valid point that, you know what? If you know your consumer, right? If you know your consumer, be like, yeah, you know what? I understand you like this cigar, but this is just as good, and it's going to be a little bit cheaper, a little bit less expensive.
I mean, as a retailer, would you rather sell one $40 cigar or 25 cigars?
Exactly. Because each shop has that 1, 2, 3 guys that will go in there and they'll buy, maybe 1 or 2 of them $40 sticks. But then you have your average Joe blue collar guy. He ain't gonna go buy that $40 stick, but he's gonna put that $40 in his gas tank.
Right, exactly.
He's gonna go buy that $7, $8 stick, and just go ahead.
Yeah, and it is, and then I just wish that these mom and pop stores. And mind, don't get me wrong, it's not all of them.
No,
because like I said, the lounge that's not that far from me. I went in there yesterday, and they have a lot of boutique.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. As a matter of fact, one of them was the Banderos. And I was gonna grab one, and for whatever reason, what did I end up? Oh, I found the Don Carlos.
Oh yeah.
And I'm the bougie one. Okay,
Yeah. Listen. It's been a while since I've
get it.
smoked one.
Listen,
It's been a while, but that cigar is so. That cigar is so good. And you know what? It was $16. You know, so it wasn't crazy. It wasn't. And to me, it's worth the $16. And to me, outside of the Don Carlos and the Fuente line, the core line to me is just way too light for me. They're good cigars. It's just not for my palate.
Yeah.
And of course the opuses. Certain opuses are. I don't mind smoking, but once again, it's not an everyday stick.
No.
And even the Don Carlos, man. I don't want to spend $16 on a stick. Every time. But I don't mind. I'll grab 2 of them, smoke one now, and leave one in my humidor for God knows how long. And that's another thing that I've become like this hoarder. You know what I mean? Because I just there's certain cigars. There's a couple of cigars I had that you can't get them anymore. They discontinued them, and it's like I don't want to smoke it because I know it's gonna be the last. So I try to justify this in my head. You don't understand. Every time I open up my locker, there's like these 2 cigars in particular. And one of them is the Murcielago original. I have a Robusto. They don't make the original anymore. Dude, that cellophane is so orange.
Oh, I bet it's so good.
Oh, and I'm like, I'm trying to justify smoke. Every time I grab it, I toss it back in, man. It's just
Nope.
so bad, man. You know, and another one I have in there is the Drock, you know, by Dr. Whitehead for the Monster series. They don't make them no more. I have one stick left. But listen, I gotta start smoking. I gotta start smoking them, and they just quit it, you know. But yeah,
You know, 'cause every day you wake up is a celebration.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
I mean, every day, you know, but who told us that? If you're gonna buy them, you might as well just smoke them.
Terrence said that.
Yeah, it was Terrence. He said just smoke them. You know, every day you wake up is a reason to celebrate.
Yeah, because I think we asked him, like, does he have anything special that he keeps in reserve? And he's like, I smoke them, you know.
Enjoy them while you can. You know, you got, you know, a humidor filled up with 1,000 ultra premium cigars. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, and none
I
of
know
us
my
are,
buddies will be happy.
yeah, none of us are museums. We're not Hall of Fames here. We're not saving cigars for a museum or a Hall of Fame. You know, and so, but I get what you're saying, Panda, because I have some in my humidor. That this is the perfect example. This is my last number from when I was with you down there in South Florida. I bought a box of these 10-year. This is my last one. I've picked this cigar up 5 times and go, nah, not today. I'm not gonna smoke my last one.
You know, 90% of what I bought in Tampa or you guys bought for me and gave me, I haven't even smoked. I haven't, because a lot of it is I just can't get in this area. That's a lot of it. But a lot of it just there's too much sentimental to it. I don't want to smoke it.
And that's the thing. But the thing, there's cigars that I have a couple of boxes in there that I know I could get extra. I know I could get them again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I don't know why. I just, you know, it's like those bulls that I have. They're pluming. Next time I go to the shop, I'm gonna do a video so you can see the plume, especially on the. Oh my god, I'm like, I gotta smoke one of these. I have to. It's just, but I can't justify smoking it when I'm just chopping up with these guys playing dominoes. Like, it's like I want to be able to enjoy that by myself, man. You know,
right.
It's just I don't know. I don't know, man. It's just, and the guys bust my chat. One of my coworkers, he's like, Pete, why don't I just go to your locker, go to your house, and give you the money because you got a because they know I hoard it. I'm just such a hoarder, man. You know, and I got some good sticks in there, man, that are no longer in existence. But that most of them have been gifted to me, so I've been very, very fortunate in that retrospect that I got good friends, you know, that like you guys and my guys at the shop that are constantly giving me cigars. You know, especially for our birthday. If you go to our shop for your birthday, I promise you walking out with a good celebratory cigar. And it's going to either be a Padron, it's going to be a Plasencia, it's going to be something that we know that you're not going to smoke on a daily basis.
Right.
And we want you to enjoy it.
Hell, that box of Plasencia I got off of Dawn. I opened the box, I set them in the humidor, haven't touched them. They're aging like fine wine right now.
That's funny because I told you I have that box. I have the 2 Encore Blacks, and I have I always forget what the third one is. I also have a box of the Warhead 10s that I haven't opened up. I did open up one of the boxes. I had 2 of them that I number. I'm like, let me open one up. And then the Reconquistas that I just bought. And I just have no room. So I had to go. I showed you guys. I had to crack open, go into my closet in my guest room to open up and get my new AJ Fernandez, you know, that I won at a raffle at the shop about 3-4 years ago.
Damn, it's a beautiful humidor.
It is. It's deep, you know. So we'll see. I mean, I'll figure out where I'm going to put it, you know, because I have no room in the living room, so it's probably going to be somewhere in the guest room somewhere, and then I got to figure out and reorganize my humidors. But my goal is once I get my man cave, guys, I told you I'm probably going to build me it. I might do one or two things. So I might either get me the cabinet like I told you guys, go to some thrift store and just convert one, or do a build out inside my man cave.
Yeah, throw cigar oasis in there, and
yeah, just have a little mini walk-in. Nothing that you can't, you do a full walk-in, but have the shelves. And just and treat myself, but we'll see. Well, guys, that's a full hour, man.
We make it too easy, brothers.
I'm telling you, man.
Anybody got any special plans for this week, or anybody doing anything fun?
Huh. I think I might know somebody.
Yeah. What we got going this week?
Well, I got a confession since this is pre-recorded. So for those that know the cigar dudes or the cigar assassins, same in one, these guys are meeting up in Texas, and they're going to be meeting up at Cigar International this week. And guess who's going to surprise them? This guy right here. This guy right here. So Randy, Rob, Maddie, Crespin, who else is going? Glenn, Tom, who else? Clint, all you guys. Surprise, surprise. I can't wait.
We got a big weekend planned.
Yes,
Oh,
we
yeah.
do.
So for those of you who don't know, I'm in Houston, Texas, where those guys are from too. And so they invited me to their meetup, and so I was mentioning it to these guys, and Panda just happened to have some time available, and got a good ticket, and so we're gonna have a good weekend of it, man. I can't wait to see everybody's face because everybody knows I'm coming. Nobody knows that Panda's coming, so
Silent assassin himself.
we'll have some good fun videos afterwards of Panda walking into several different locations with people that didn't know he was coming. So
Oh yeah, the Panda's coming to invade the assassins.
Houston, Texas will never be the same.
You damn right it won't. Have this New York coming through, baby. Loud and proud, baby. Loud and proud. Well, guys, that's another episode. Once again, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, hit that notification, so that every time we go on or we post something that you could catch it, watch us, share it. Please share it. Guess what? If there's a topic that you guys want us to talk about, reach us out. JJ, where can they find us?
Oh, Podbean, Amazon Music, Facebook. I posted to Facebook the other day that podcast. God, what else is there, boys?
Amazon Music,
Spotify.
Spotify.
I recently got Spotify back on. I was putting them on private for some reason on Spotify and
YouTube,
iHeartRadio.
Let's go.
You know, I think I'd have this down by now. You think I'd have it
It's
down?
all good. It's all good, baby.
Good.
Don, where can they find you, brother?
You can find me on TikTok as the Cigar Don, on YouTube as the Cigar Don, Facebook as my name, Don Sweeney, and Instagram. My username for every other thing I have in my life is Flyers Don.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
go Strokes.
Oh, let's go. Come on. And I could be found on TikTok, Instagram, Spotify. What else? The other one? Facebook. I'm finally on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And one form or another is pretty much Cigar Panda, Cigar _Panda 75. But pretty much if you type in Cigar Panda, you'll find me. Guys, once again, we appreciate your support, your love. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.